Welcome back, everyone. I've got some really exciting news for you. So if you remember, my last video was on the people's hotspot, hashtag the people's hotspot. And I got a message this week from someone and they had watched. They're like, I'm not even halfway through the video and we're in. I'm totally in. And it was the team at Bobcat. They said, we want in on this. We want in on the people's hotspot. We're going to send you another miner because we like this idea so much. And there was so much feedback that I got on Discord this week. I've got about at least a half dozen people lined up on the CalChip side that have orders in line that they're willing to host the people's hotspot. And we're going to get a Bobcat one going as soon as they start delivering. And they are still on time to deliver according to their dates to finish. I can't say it. Something about the end of March is in there, but I don't remember where it will be at in the process. Anyways, the people's hotspot. What is it? So what we're doing is to bridge the gap between, in the midst of all these supply chain issues, we're trying to take that hotspot and move it from person to person and pay it forward as it goes through. So as person one that gets the people's hotspot waits for their miner, if we do it in an early enough order number, deliver to them, they host the hotspot, they get 95% of the earnings for that hotspot. And then the 5% remaining goes to a community fund. What are we going to do with it? Well, I don't know. We're gonna create a little community of people who have participated in the people's hotspot, and then we're going to drive some consensus-driven decision-making framework type of stuff so that we can figure out what we're going to do with those community funds. Of course, it's going to pay for location asserts and things like that. However, we're going to keep moving it forward and HNTing it forward. They even called that out as like that was a great thing to call it. So that's what the people's hotspot is all about. We're going to get one going on every manufacturer that's willing to get in on this. So, update on our original, the people's hotspot. I found a host, and I'm so glad that I found one locally because I would have royally screwed this up. And that's why this is an experiment. So we're sharing the learnings. So I learned that, we can't do remote asserts and we can't own the hotspot and send it to somebody else and then have them do the location assert for us, even if we bind it to a wallet. So that was some interesting conundrums. So we lost about 12 hours of mining while we waited for me to get back together at an appropriate time. So the big news though is the people's hotspot, the first one, is up and running. So let me introduce you all to Puny Pecan Eel, or if you're in the South, Pecan Eel. Puny Pecan Eel, not Earl. So Puny Pecan Eel is located, let's see here, I got all of my deets on a piece of paper here. It is running with an antenna, a RAC 8 dBi antenna. So we got the RAC V1 miner via an LMR 400 cable about 25 feet in length, because this is actually what I was previously using before I redid my setup regarding the grounding. So RAC 8 dBi, 25-foot cable. There is a SMA to RP-SMA adapter. I messed up on my first LMR cable order, and I thought it was SMA and not RP-SMA. This is going to get even more complicated because there's, I believe, 2 manufacturers that are using SMA connections. So double, triple check that when you get the miner, that you look or not even get before you order your cable, that you make sure that you know you're using an RP-SMA or SMA. I've talked about it a lot, but I'm going to keep repeating it because I don't want anybody out there down because of the mistake that I made. So tiny adapter, if you mess up, you can get it on Amazon. Just make sure that you're ordering the right ones. I freaked out and really looked over which of my options were there to get the right one. Also, it's on a 3rd floor balcony, so it's overlooking quite an open area. I've actually got some pictures I'm going to show you as best as they'll come in on the computer screen here. But let's go to the earnings. I mean, that's what this is all about, right? So we have there, I don't know if you can see it, but it is 5.31 HNT at the time of this. So that's pretty decent. And the witnesses on here are pretty interesting. They're going all the way north. Let's see here on the distance. We have 22 kilometers. So this is off the rack 8 dBi, not even above the roof line. And we're getting 22 kilometers off of that. There was another one that I saw that was a witness, or at least it heard the signal, way over to the west. And what's strange is that this is on a balcony where there's the apartment building is right here. So the balcony, somehow it's going back up and over, or it's detecting the signal around. Somehow it's working. So that's really interesting to me, that it can get signals, just do some weird things in that bouncing around in cities. And this is in suburbs, okay? And then to the north, it's moving up above Minneapolis, and that's where the longest witness is at 22 kilometers. So really interesting coverage here, that it's kind of in one direction, but then branching out in some other weird directions too. So 5 HNT mined already with the People's Hotspot. Now let's take a look at those pictures. Okay, so let me zoom in here a little bit so that you can see this. Again, I apologize if it's not that clear, but this is the view kind of to the south from this and from the antenna. So it's on the balcony, it's zip tied to the balcony, and then also affixed with some the hardware that comes with the rack. Okay, so that's one picture. And then you can see there's some buildings to the south there, so, but you might be able to get some decent coverage to the south. All right, here is looking to the north and to the east. So this is probably the direction that it's getting the best witnesses out of. So again, this is just on a balcony, not even above the roof line. And then there's down here, you can see the LMR 400 cable coming off of the antenna. And then these balconies are usually grounded, so there is a lightning arrestor in there, and then it's grounding to the balcony itself, because that's usually what you can do with if you're in a kind of a situation like this. We definitely check for that to make sure. Unlikely, but still good to be safe. So that is Puny Pecan Eel, or Puny Pecan Eel, mining away. So thank you for watching. If you're interested, oh, I forgot one other thing. On the setup portion, we had some difficulties. Wow, it was a day long of syncing up to the blockchain. We did multiple restarts. We experimented with port forwarding, port 44158. And you can Google that. It's on Helium's website. I'm not just making that up. And that's for the peer-to-peer network to really function as it should. So we got all that, and we still had to do a couple of reboots. It was just very interesting how it was kind of being stubborn about catching up to the blockchain. And then finally it crept in such that it gave the full sync status, and then started mining. And it was great. It was very exciting to get this going. And the person I'm working with, it was really great. Hey, do you mind if I share some pictures? And they're like, yeah, absolutely. So took some time. I do want to recommend the Helium Hotspot utility. It's a different app from the Helium app. So if you download that, you're going to be able to do a diagnostic run. One time when I was having trouble with a hotspot, for some reason syncing that and doing the diagnostic run made it get out of whatever funky state it was in. So I really recommend that for diagnostics. All right. If you're interested in the People's Hotspot, make sure to contact me on Discord. Again, the requirements are in the previous video that I will link down in the description. We'd like to keep that going. Thank you for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, share with your friends. If they're really mad that their order got delayed, share it with them. Let's try and get some more people in the queue, and we can get this thing going through the chain and really HNT it forward. Thanks for watching. Take care.